The injury crisis at Manchester United is growing increasingly dire as crucial players are ruled out for extended periods, leaving manager Ruben Amorim with tough decisions to make. Just when it seemed the team was starting to settle, United has been hit with yet another massive blow, and the list of absentees continues to grow. The latest setback comes with the news that Ahad Diop will be sidelined for the rest of the season. The 22-year-old winger had been in exceptional form, becoming one of United's standout performers this season. His goals against Manchester City, Liverpool, and a memorable hat-trick against Southampton had cemented him as one of the team's most reliable forwards. His absence, potentially requiring surgery for an ankle ligament injury suffered in training, leaves a gaping hole in United's attack. Ahmad's injury adds to an already growing injury list that also includes Kobbie Mainoo. The promising 18-year-old midfielder is expected to be out for around 6 weeks due to a calf strain, making his return unlikely until March, around the time United embarks on its Europa League knockout stages. The loss of both players is a heavy blow, particularly as United aims to stay competitive in the Premier League and Europe. United's injury woes don't end there. Lisandro Martinez, who has been a crucial part of United's defense, has already undergone surgery for a torn ACL and will be out for the remainder of the season. The absence of both Ahmad and Martinez leaves Amorim with few options at the back and in attack, forcing him to rely on his remaining squad depth. Meanwhile, long-term injury concerns around Luke Shaw continue to plague the team. The left back, one of United's highest earners, has missed much of the season due to fitness and injury issues. Despite being highly regarded by Amorim, Shaw's recurring injuries have become a serious concern. At 29, Shaw's continued struggles have raised doubts about his future at Old Trafford, with many suggesting that the club could offload him in the summer if his fitness does not improve. Given the demanding system Amorim is implementing, Shaw's injury record may ultimately make him expendable. While the injuries are mounting, there's a glimmer of hope for United in the form of Manuel Ugarte and Toby Collier, both of whom missed the defeat to Tottenham, but are not expected to be sidelined for long. Christian Eriksen and Lenny Yoro are also likely to be available for selection soon after recovering from illness, offering some reprieve for a team that has been stretched thin. Despite the growing list of injured players, Amorim has called upon a number of academy stars to step up, with young talents filling the gaps in the squad. However, this reliance on youth may not be sustainable for long, and United will need more than just raw potential to navigate the tough weeks ahead. With a season teetering on the edge, Manchester United's struggles in the Premier League, where they currently sit in 15th place, are compounded by the injuries to key players. United will have to rely on the resilience of their remaining stars and the young players stepping up to turn things around. The upcoming fixtures, including matches against Everton, Ipswich Town, and a crucial FA Cup clash with Fulham, will be pivotal. Amorim faces a massive challenge in trying to keep United's season alive and secure a European spot. With so many key players sidelined, the coming weeks could define the club's season. As the injury crisis continues to take its toll, United fans are left wondering, can the young stars step up to fill the void left by the injured players? Will the club's reliance on academy talents be enough to salvage their season, or is a rebuilding phase already underway at Old Trafford? Hello Reds, welcome back again. Kobbie Mainoo injury return date emerges as Manchester United handed new blow. Latest Manchester United injury news with an update on Kobbie Mainoo's fitness after the midfielder missing the Premier League defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. An update has emerged on Kobbie Mainoo's recovery from injury as Manchester United wait for the midfielder's return. Mainoo picked up an injury in training last week in the build-up to United's defeat to Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. The 19-year-old has played a key role in the United midfield ever since he enjoyed his breakthrough campaign last term. Ruben Amorim has regularly selected Mainoo in the middle of the park since being appointed as United head coach back in November. Now, though, Amorim will be forced to be without one of his star midfielders for the foreseeable future. A report in the Telegraph has provided an update on Mainoo's injury recovery, suggesting a potential time frame for a return to action. It has been suggested that Mainoo will not be available for United until after the March international break. If this report proves to be accurate, it would mean that Mainoo would miss United's next 7 matches at the very least. United have 4 Premier League matches between now and the next international break at the end of March against Everton, Ipswich Town, Arsenal, and Leicester City. United will also have an FA Cup 5th-round tie against Fulham at Old Trafford to prepare for in a few weeks. Mainoo would also be expected to miss both legs of United's Europa League last 16 tie, which take place next month, with the opponents yet to be confirmed. Amorim was asked about Mainoo's fitness both before and after the defeat to Tottenham at the weekend. Speaking to Sky Sports before kickoff, Amorim stated that Mainoo felt something during training, which led to the midfielder being unavailable to face Spurs. After the game, Amorim was asked how long he expects Mainoo to be unavailable for selection. "Let's see, I think weeks," Amorim told reporters on Sunday. Manchester United has been handed yet another blow in their ongoing battle with injuries, as Kobbie Mainoo's return date has been pushed back further. The young midfielder, who had been showing real promise in his limited appearances for the senior side this season, was notably absent in United's Premier League defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. The 18-year-old had been expected to play a key role in Erik ten Hag's midfield plans. But now, with Mainoo sidelined for a longer period, United's squad depth is becoming an increasing concern. Mainoo had been dealing with an ongoing injury issue that had kept him out of action for several weeks. United fans had hoped for a swift recovery, but recent reports have confirmed that the talented midfielder will not return to first-team action until at least mid-March. This setback comes as a disappointment to both Mainoo and the club, as the young player had been working hard to make his mark on the senior squad after an impressive season in the youth ranks. The news of Mainoo's delayed return adds to the growing list of injuries plaguing United's squad this season, with several key players, including Lisandro Martinez and Christian Eriksen, also nursing long-term injuries. The absence of Mainoo, who had shown glimpses of his potential in the early part of the season, leaves United thin in midfield at a crucial stage of the campaign. Mainoo had been viewed as an exciting prospect, particularly due to his composure on the ball and his ability to break up opposition attacks. His absence has forced Erik ten Hag to rely even more heavily on the likes of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, with the club now under pressure to fill the void left by the injury-prone midfield. The timing of Mainoo's return is critical, as Manchester United looks to push for a top 4 finish in the Premier League and make progress in the cup competitions. However, with the financial struggles surrounding the club, there is little hope of bringing in reinforcements in the transfer market to cover for his absence. For now, the club's focus will be on getting Mainoo back to full fitness and integrating him back into the first-team fold as soon as possible. United fans, who had been excited to see more of the young midfielder this season, will have to wait a little longer before they see him back in action. As the squad battles through another season of adversity, Mainoo's return could provide a much-needed boost to a squad in desperate need of fresh energy and creativity. Until then, Manchester United's injury woes continue to cast a shadow over their campaign. A player Manchester United just tried to sell has told them what they didn't want to hear. Manchester United were hoping to offload Casemiro in the mid-season transfer window, but he remained at the club and hopes to see out his 4-year contract. It's been a tough few days for Manchester United, and it might be set to get even worse. The club's latest injury crisis served as a prelude to their latest Premier League defeat on Sunday. A substitutes bench with an average age of below 20 stole the headlines before kickoff, managing to overshadow what was a significantly weakened United starting 11. Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte, and Ahmad would all have made United's starting 11 had they been fit, with cases to be made for Lenny Yoro and even Mason Mount joining that group. United are set to release their financial figures for the final 3 months of 2024 today, and the latest accounts are likely to include the settlement for sacking Erik ten Hag and his staff and appointing Ruben Amorim as his replacement. Any payoff for Dan Ashworth is also likely to be included. Given reports that further redundancies are set to be made at United, now is not a great time for expensive mistakes of the past to be filling column inches. So, a peek under the bonnet of the club's finances, and not to mention a clash with former United manager David Moyes to come this weekend, but another blow for United has been sandwiched in between all of the above, and has flown somewhat under the radar. An interview with Casemiro was released by AS on Monday. The United midfielder discussed a range of topics, with former club Real Madrid's clash with Manchester City tonight a particular focus. Little was mentioned of United. That's no great surprise given the interview was with a Spanish publication. But the few sentences dedicated to his current club didn't bring positive news. With just days remaining in the mid-season transfer window, the Manchester Evening News reported that United were still hoping to sell the Brazilian. Nothing came of their hunt for a potential suitor, yet Casemiro clearly has no intention of leaving anyway. "I respect United, a club to which I'm very grateful," he said. "I have 1.5 years left on my contract, and I'd like to fulfill it here in Manchester. I'm comfortable here, and so is my family. They've adapted, we speak English. I'm very grateful to the Old Trafford fans, and to the club. I'm happy at club level." He went on to add that he wasn't happy with his limited role in the team this season, having been an unused substitute in 9 of Amorim's 14 Premier League games in charge. United need to shift Casemiro and his hefty wages. Amorim needs funds to buy players who can work in his system, and the departure of a high earner like Casemiro, who clearly struggled when called upon against Spurs on Sunday, would be a step in the right direction. He has no intention of leaving. Yet United were the ones who dished out a 4-year contract to a player in his 30s. It's a setback for United, but they only have themselves to blame. Amid the financial turbulence surrounding Manchester United, one of the club's most influential figures, Casemiro, has made his intentions clear. He plans to see out his current deal with the club. The Brazilian midfielder, who has become a pillar of strength in the United midfield since his high-profile move from Real Madrid, has expressed his commitment to the club despite its current struggles. Casemiro's decision comes at a time when Manchester United's future appears uncertain, with financial constraints limiting the club's ability to make marquee signings and growing discontent among the fan base about the Glazers' continued ownership. The 31-year-old, who has been a key figure for Erik ten Hag since his arrival, has silenced speculation linking him with a potential move away from Old Trafford. In a statement, Casemiro revealed his focus remains on helping the team recover from its recent setbacks. "I have a contract with Manchester United and I intend to honor it," Casemiro said, his words reassuring both fans and teammates alike. "This club has a rich history, and we are working to get back to where it belongs. I'm here to help with that process." His decision to stay at United is a significant one, especially given the current financial strain the club is under. With players like Victor Gyökeres and Giovanni Quenda reportedly on United's radar, the club's ambitions to rebuild and strengthen the squad have been tempered by financial limitations. Yet Casemiro's desire to remain and contribute could be a sign of the team's resilience in the face of adversity. While there had been rumors linking the defensive midfielder with a return to Spain or a potential move to another top European club, Casemiro's loyalty to United has silenced those discussions for now.